How is it physically possible for hundreds of thousands of tons of solid, unyielding steel to peacefully float upon the surface of the water without sinking straight to the bottom? And how can humanity safely descend into the crushing, unforgiving darkness of the ocean depths, navigating pressures that would effortlessly crush a modern vehicle? Or conversely, how do we ascend into the thin, freezing air of the upper atmosphere, riding nothing but a delicate envelope of fabric and heated gas? The answer to these monumental engineering questions was not forged in a modern, high-tech laboratory equipped with supercomputers and precise lasers. Instead, this profound scientific revelation began over 2 millennia ago, hidden amidst the bustling, sun-baked streets of ancient Syracuse, born from the sheer curiosity of a single brilliant mind. This is the incredible story of Eureka, a grand journey through time and physics to uncover the elegant, invisible secret that made the entire modern world float. Our historical journey begins with an impossible royal mandate. King Hiero II of Syracuse strongly suspected his most trusted jeweler of committing a terrible, treasonous crime. The king believed the craftsman was secretly stealing precious silver and melting it directly into his newly crafted, supposedly pure gold crown, deceiving the throne itself. Archimedes, the realm's greatest thinker, was tasked with proving this royal fraud without melting or damaging the sacred object in any way. He easily knew its weight, but to calculate its true density, he desperately needed to measure its exact irregular volume. The groundbreaking solution came to him not from complex mathematical equations scratched into the sand, but from a wonderfully simple, mundane moment of his daily routine. As the exhausted mathematician slowly lowered his body into his private bath, he began to notice something profound and highly predictable happening to the resting water level. He carefully observed that the exact amount of water spilling over the edges of the stone tub was directly and flawlessly equal to the physical volume of his own submerged body. In a sudden, brilliant flash of pure intellectual clarity, Archimedes realized that he had just found the ultimate, elusive key to measuring the volume of absolutely any irregular object, including the king's golden crown. Historical legend vividly dictates that he leapt from the water and ran completely naked through the city streets shouting, "Eureka!" an ecstatic Greek proclamation meaning, "I have found it." But what Archimedes practically discovered on that fateful day was far more historically significant than just a clever, temporary method to catch a cheating goldsmith in ancient Greece. He had actually uncovered a fundamental, unchangeable law of physics, a universal truth that permanently dictates exactly how all solid matter interacts with liquids and gases across the cosmos. It elegantly answers a question children ask every day. Why does a massive, heavy log of wood easily float on a lake, while a tiny, solid iron pebble sinks straight to the muddy bottom? Every single object on Earth, no matter its shape or size, is constantly being pulled downward toward the planet's core by the relentless, invisible, and heavy force of gravity. But the very moment that any object enters a fluid, the fluid immediately fights back, aggressively pushing upward against gravity with a hidden strength that scientists now call buoyant force. Archimedes elegantly realized that this upward pushing force is exactly mathematically equal to the actual weight of the fluid that the submerged object physically pushes out of the way. Fast forward thousands of years to our modern, industrialized era, and you'll easily see that this very ancient principle is precisely what allows us to conquer the world's vast, unpredictable oceans. Solid steel is inherently about 8 times denser and heavier than seawater. But naval architects bypass this limitation by shaping the hull to safely encapsulate a massive, protective volume of empty air, which successfully means the enormous steel ship ultimately displaces a sheer volume of ocean water that weighs significantly more than the ship itself, keeping millions of tons safely and permanently afloat. But humanity's ambition didn't just stop at merely floating passively on the surface. We actively wanted to master the complex mechanics of buoyancy itself, to travel wherever we pleased. By deliberately taking seawater into its heavy internal ballast tanks, a modern submarine purposefully increases its overall density, artificially overcoming the upward push of buoyancy to silently dive deep below the crashing waves. And when the underwater mission is finally complete, by violently expelling that heavy seawater with highly pressurized compressed air, the vessel instantly regains its natural buoyancy, swiftly rising back up to the sunlight. Yet, it is absolutely crucial to remember that this invisible ancient law of fluid dynamics is not solely confined to our seas and oceans. It governs the vast, swirling skies and atmosphere above us just as strictly. By rapidly heating the trapped air inside a massive canvas balloon, we force the air molecules apart, making the gas physically less dense than the cooler surrounding air, instantly creating a powerful buoyant force that entirely defies gravity. From the biological depths of the sea, where ancient fish perfectly adjust their internal swim bladders to survive, to the absolute cutting edge of aerospace engineering and astronaut training in massive zero-gravity simulators. We as a species are forever indebted to the sheer, unbridled genius of ancient Syracuse. Archimedes, the brilliant man who simply stepped into a bath and inadvertently taught the entire future of the world exactly how to float.